What you guys, got another video here for you. Microsoft is quietly nerfing AI in Windows 11. According to some tech outlets like Windows Central, they have close connections with people that work at Microsoft, and they've been told that the company is now shifting away from AI everywhere and towards features that make sense for Windows users. So it seems that Microsoft are actually now starting to listen to its user base. So Microsoft have said that Windows Recall is another AI experience that is under review. Sources at Windows Central were told that Microsoft believes that Recall in its current implementation has failed, though the company is exploring ways to evolve the concept rather than scrap it entirely. So what we're looking at right here is Recall that no one wanted. So really, are they going to scrap Recall? It doesn't look like they're going to scrap Recall completely. It looks like they are going to completely overhaul the concept of Recall. How they're going to do that, I really don't know. And what they're going to do, we'll just have to wait and see. Remember, Recall is only for Copilot Plus PCs. At the time, Recall created a lot of drama, and YouTubers were creating videos claiming that Recall was active and running as a service in Windows 11 and sending all your data back to Microsoft, which was misleading and a complete lie by a lot of tech YouTubers. Why were they doing it? Views, of course. And this is what it's all about. Social media is a platform where people need views to create revenue. And of course, they will say outrageous and outlandish things just to get views, which is obviously clickbait. Now, there's no official post. This is all what's on tech outlets. So let's take a look at the other claim, what they're saying, which is AI itself, Copilot. Also, someone at Windows Central were told by Microsoft that they have paused work on any additional Copilot buttons for the inbox apps. Well, at least for now, they were told, while they don't expect the pause to be permanent. It does sound like Microsoft plans to be more tactful and deliberate in where these Copilot buttons will be integrated in the future. So by those two statements, which Windows Central have put on their website, Microsoft doesn't seem to be doing away with AI completely or even Recall. It seems that they are just reshaping Recall in a way that will work for them, because they're saying it was unsuccessful. Let's hope they completely scrap the idea. And the same thing with Copilot. I do believe that Copilot doesn't necessarily have to be built into the operating system. I do think Microsoft could offer a clean operating system without any AI or Recall or any of that stuff embedded in it. It could be just a clean OS. Maybe call it Windows 11 Home Clean Edition with no bloat in it whatsoever. That will be ideal. A little bit like a Windows LTSE edition. And only then will Microsoft redeem themselves with their user base. Because if they continue down this path where they're forcing people to sign into a Microsoft account, embedding Copilot everywhere on Windows, also forcing Recall on people that don't want it, and not giving people opt-out options to be able to opt out of everything in an easy way, to use a local account and to basically opt out of all of this bloat that comes with Windows 11 today, then I don't think things are going to change, in my honest opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, Copilot as a place, just like any other AI system, I do believe that AI is important in 2026 because we don't want to be left behind, because AI isn't going anywhere. But I think what needs to be done is probably concentrate on AI as an application that you can download and install, rather than having it integrated heavily into the operating system and not giving people a choice. Because forcing it on people is what's making people go back to Windows 10. And what I mean by that is applications like Notepad. You don't need Copilot inside Notepad. You don't need Copilot inside Paint, and you don't need it in some of the applications that you've got it in. Now, I've read articles also online about how Copilot is being embraced by companies inside Outlook and inside other Office applications. And if that's true, then why are they pausing embedding it in other applications? None of it makes any sense. I personally can't see Microsoft completely ditching AI altogether. I also can't see Microsoft completely ditching recall because they've created computers specially designed for recall. So I can't see that happening whatsoever. And there's going to be a lot of tech posts following suit claiming that Microsoft are pulling back on AI everywhere and also scrapping recall, but I just can't see it myself. And it also says on their blog that the good news is that it's clear Microsoft has heard the feedback around its heavy-handedness when it comes to Copilot buttons in Windows apps. The company is stepping back to readjust how best to implement these AI integrations across the OS. In other words, they're not scrapping it at all. They're just going to look at another way to embed it into the operating system rather than completely scrap it. And it goes on to say, hopefully resulting in a more meaningful and useful AI experience on the platform, rather than basically adding the Copilot icon to every UI surface it can. And this is all due to after listening to feedback and streamlining where Copilot shows up across Box apps, on their system. So it doesn't look like it's completely going away. What I would like to see is basically offering people the chance to uninstall Microsoft Edge, create local accounts, removing a lot of the bloat, all the apps that people just don't simply want. Don't put Copilot in all of these apps, completely removing it altogether. And removing recall would be great as well. But there's lots of other things they need to do, which is, broken updates. Stop doing that on a regular basis. Give people a steady operating system like Windows 11 23H2 was. And this was all before they started adding all of the Copilot and other rubbish that they were adding into the system. So is Windows 11 doomed, and is it done for? If you go on YouTube, you'll probably see a ton of videos claiming that Microsoft are done, Windows is done, the new OS is Linux, and it's all a load of propaganda. You can see here Windows 11 has just jumped a massive, over 10% in use just in the last month. And this just goes to show you how things are. What will happen eventually is Windows 10 will just gradually drop down and drop out of flavor, and it will go down just like all the other operating systems you see there, Windows 7, Windows XP, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, and so on. Eventually, it will just die off because it won't be supported anymore. And that's just what's going to happen. And Windows 11 will continue to grow. Microsoft will then release another operating system, maybe Windows 12, and we will start again. And it's been going on like this for many, many years. So Linux is not going to replace Windows anytime soon. Regardless of what you see on YouTube, there's a lot of hate campaigns right now for Microsoft and Windows, and there's dedicated channels that are just pumping out videos on the hate campaign for Microsoft and Windows. And these are, believe it or not, Linux users that are doing it. And it's very toxic. It really is. But if you look right here, there is actually Linux, which has never really changed much. The line just goes up and down a little teeny bit, up a percentage, down a percentage. And you can see at now it's at 4.02%. And in February, it drops down to 3.5%. So that's basically what Linux has been doing for years. It's never changed. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. I personally don't think that Microsoft are going to scrap Copilot in any way, shape or form. I think recall will probably be paused and reworked in the future, but I just can't see it all going away. It's just not going to. AI is too big right now for them to completely walk away from it and scrap it altogether and give you a clean operating system. I just can't see that happening. Anyway, with that said, my name has been Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Big shout out to my YouTube members. I really do appreciate the support. Whether it's tier 1, tier 2 or tier 3 support, I really do appreciate it. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.